Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the 1-week international seminar on Telugu language, culture, traditions, emerging trends, challenges, awareness, education, employment, environment, health, well-being, and sustainable development 2023, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 76 years of independence, India's G20 presidency, United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030, and also commemorating World Telugu Day, Telugu Language Day or International Telugu Language Day, which is celebrated on August 29th every year. So we invite presentations on these above topics or any related topics from the presenters and participants who are interested to present. And you can also present about languages and how languages promote culture and traditions, and also sustainable development. So you can choose any of these topics which are relevant and you can present on that. So today, we will see the overview of Telugu language and various other daily commemorations, which are also part of our daily activities. So before starting our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
The blessings of Almighty shall continue. with today's sessions. Before we take up, we will complete today's commemorations. As we know, across the world, there are many languages that are spoken, that are written, and has extensive use since ages. We have seen verbal communication, non-verbal communication, and language plays a significant role in verbal communication. And language imbibes and helps to promote culture and traditions. And a country like ours, which is rich in linguistic diversity, writes in many languages and speaks in many more languages. I mean, voices. About 2.4% of the world's land surface and a total of around 20% of the world's population. India has been land of many languages, such as languages which are spoken as well as written, which are only spoken, which are only written. There are more than 6,000 languages. And according to recent estimates, many languages have disappeared because of not using them. And recent estimate says that we have around 1,652 mother tongues, including 103 foreign mother tongues, as per census 1961 and Nigam 1970. So the earliest form of speech in India were reflected in the texts such as Rig Veda, the Brahmanas, and the Upanishads, the oldest preserved treatise from which Indian literary traditions of verse have sprung. The earliest works were composed to be sung or recited and were orally transmitted for many generations before being written down. The oldest among them are 1,000 odd hymns of the Rig Vedas dating back to 2 million BC, composed in what it is called as Vedic Sanskrit. The Vedas, which derived from the root with to know, tried capturing knowledge that came from the quest from the unknown. The Indian literary tradition demonstrated that early Indian creative writers interacted very closely with critical thinkers, and a very much interpretative tradition developed just as they excelled in literary creativity in number of genres, beginning from poetry and its epic form to storytelling as well as to the drama. While a lot of these early texts dabbled with the idea of sacred, even though most revered texts like Vedas demonstrated that they were streaks of both in its border. So the earlier literary theoreticians could identify different sentiments being reflected in these writings, which have been trendsetters in the world literature in many ways. The Indian linguistic space, as it exists today, is truncated from the South Asian subcontinent after its independence in 1947, has been a new geological identity. But India has all ages been a concept more than a truly mental map than being a physical reality. At the same time, she has also contributed to the numerous ideas that formed the basis of modern knowledge-based society. There are different theories about how many of these mother tongues qualify to be described as independent languages. Even Sir George Grierson's 12-volume Linguistic Survey of India, 1903 to 1923, material for which was collected in the last decade of 19th century, has identified 179 languages and 544 dialects, and one of the early census reports also showed 188 languages and 49 dialects as per 1921 census. Out of these mother tongues, 184 as per census 1991, or at least 112 as per census 1981 figure, had more than 10,000 speakers. There are other estimates that would put the number higher or lower. For instance, the Encyclopedic People of India series of the Anthropological Survey of India identified 75 major languages out of a total 325 languages used in Indian households. Ethnologue 2 reports India as a home for 398 languages, including 387 living and 11 extinct languages. Most importantly, as early as in the early 1990s, the People of India also reports that there are 25 writing systems in India that are active use as in 1990s. The results of a 1989 survey titled The Written Languages of the World, a survey of the degree and modes of use, conducted by Padmanabha MP Mahapatra and et al., Office of the Registrar General, India, Laval University Press, showed that there are at least 50 Indian languages in which writing and publishing are done in substantial quantity. The Indus Valley script was a product of the now well-known Indus Valley civilization. The greatest Indus region was home to the largest of the 4 ancient urban civilizations, others being the Egyptian, Mesopotamian, and Chinese civilizations. Most of its rulers The samples of Indian Valley script are huge, about 1,000 settlements spreading all over modern Pakistan and parts of India and Afghanistan and Nepal, Bhutan and China and other countries which were part of larger India earlier. But the main corpus of writing include 2,000 inscribed brief seals and tablets of 6 to 26 symbols each, which are undisciplined. There are several competing theories about the language which the Indus script represents, but it appears that there were an equally strong multiracial and multilingual existence, them which was further contributed to the difficulties in the decipherment. There were many other systems of writing, but none had as far-reaching effect as the Brahmi script. George Bowler, in his 1985-1998 work entitled Sitzbandsche der Kehrlichen Academia der Wissenschaften, that is Philosophic Historic Classy 132, number 5, 1985, second revised edition, Strauberg, Karl, J. Rubner, 1988, and Rept Varanasi, 1963. There are many other systems of writing, but none had as far as reaching effect as Brahmi script. Bowler argued for a Phoenician script, although some other specialists like Ringer thought of an Aramic origin of Brahmi. There are controversies as to whether one should accept what the studies of Fussman, von Hibner, and Fark concluded, namely that this script was only debatable or datable from time of Ashoka, or whether, as many Indian epigraphists argue, it dates could be pushed back much further. The Kharosthi script was almost contemporarily with the Brahmi, and it appeared by the 3rd BC in northern Pakistan and east Afghanistan. Some examples of Kharosthi are found in India. Kharosthi was used primarily for the Prakrit dialect and Gandhari of Gandhari. In structures and sequence, Kharosthi and Brahmi are similar, except that the Brahmi had different signs for different initial vowels, but it used the same marks that change vowels into consonant, so consonant-vowel combinations. And while Brahmi had long and short vowel signs, Kharosthi had only one. Kharosthi script fell out of use by 3rd or 4th century AD. India houses 1.4 billion people with a population growth rate of around 1.6 and more a year as per 2001 estimates and statistics. So India is administratively organized into 35 entities, each as big as independent nations. There are 29 states and union and territories broadly set up on the linguistic principle. Currently, India has 51 cities, 384 urban agglomerates, and 5,161 towns, and 2,843 in 1951 in India, with about 26.1% of its total population. However, Indians still live in rural areas and in small towns with different linguistic practices and with scanty knowledge of English. Each Indian state also happens to be each Indian state also happens to be pluricultural, besides showing a great degree of multilingualism, as stated below. Kerala state with Malayalam as major language and other languages widely used are Tamil, Kannada, and Punjab state major language is Punjabi and other languages used are Hindi and Urdu. Gujarat 91.5%. Punjab major language 92.2%, with other languages as Hindi and Urdu. Gujarati language and other languages include Hindi and Sindhi. Haryana, Hindi language and other languages include Punjabi, Urdu. Haryana, UP, Hindi as major language and Urdu, Punjabi as other significant languages. So we have Haryana, major languages Hindi, UP, Rajasthan, Himachal Pradesh, with Hindi as major languages. Tamil Nadu, Tamil as major language and other languages. Popular are Telugu, Kannada. West Bengal, Bangla is a major language and Hindi and Urdu are other languages. widely used. In Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, Telugu language, major language, and apart from that, Urdu, Hindi, and many more languages. In Madhya Pradesh, Hindi as a major language, Bihar, Hindi, Orissa state, Oriya as a major language, Mizoram, Lushai as a major language, Maharashtra, apart from that, Madhya Pradesh Hindi, Bihar Hindi, Orissa Oriya, Mizoram Lushai, Maharashtra Marathi, Goa Konkani, Meghalaya Khasi, Tripura Bangla, Karnataka Kannada, Sikkim Nepali, Manipur Manipuri, Assam Assamese, Arunachal Nisi, Nagaland, O language. These are the major languages that are spoken. As of today, the Indian Constitution recognizes 22nd major languages of India, is what known as the 8th schedule of the Constitution. They also happen to be the major literary languages in India with a considerable volume of writing in them. They include, besides Sanskrit, the following 21 modern Indian languages: Assamese, Bangla, Bodo, Dogri, Gujarati, Hindi, Kashmiri, Kannada, Konkani, Maithili, Malayalam, Manipuri, Marathi, Nepali, Oriya, Punjabi, Tamil, Telugu, Santali, Sindhi, and Urdu. Originally, only 14 languages were included in the 8th schedule of Indian Constitution. Bodo, Dogri, Konkani, Maithili, Manipuri, Nepali, Santali, and Sindh were recognized later. The first Prime Minister of India, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, had made a comment about this the first time. The languages listed in the schedule had acquired different names at different stages. They are better known as scheduled languages now. The Minorities Commission report and the Official Language Resolution 3 of 1968 considered languages listed in the schedule as major language of the country and program. Besides the scheduled languages, the Indian census did record 1,576 rationalized languages, as well as 1,796 other mother tongues. The highest literary awards in the country are given in 24 literary languages in India by the National Academy of Letters called Sahitya Akademi. But newspapers and periodicals, 3,592 in number, are published in 35 Indian languages every year. There are only 69 to 72 languages that are taught in schools and in India, some capacity. But again, the radio network beams programs in 146 languages and dialects. By 1960s, 87.13% of the Indians spoke languages already included by 1960s and in the 8th schedule of the Indian Constitution. Having recognized the importance of English, having recognized the importance of English, it is estimated that there have been great movements of people and races that made it possible for India to be a home for so many ethnic groups. The expansion of European peoples properly or probably Czecharians, possibly stated around 1,000 years ago, perhaps 1,000 years or more earlier, Indo-European speakers from the coasts south of the Urals and north of the Black Sea and in the western Kazakhstan moved in western and in eastern directions and finally moved to the south, mixing the presumably Dravidian or other original inhabitants of the South Asian region. Languages spoken in the South Asian region belong to at least 4 major language families: Indo-European, most of which belong to its sub-branch Indo-Aryan, Dravidian, Austro-Asiatic, and the Sino-Tibetan. Almost 1/3 of our mother tongues belong to the Indo-Aryan family of languages spoken by 73.3% of Indians. The Dravidian languages, 153 in number, form the second major linguistic group of the country. The languages belonging to Austro-Asiatic family of languages, 65 in number, accounted for a total number of 6.19 million speakers. And on top of it all, 530 were still recorded as unclassified languages. It was the discovery of surprising similarities of structure and function that the South Asian languages have developed because of shared cultural space that has been vibrant and interactive over several millennia that prompted scholars like Murray So the Indo-Aryan languages, which is the largest chunk of languages and mother tongues, belong to the Indo-Aryan subfamily of the Indo-European languages. The immediate precedent of Indo-Aryan happens to be the Indo-Iranian, the oldest specimens of which are available in the Zen Avest. Among the modern Indo-Aryan languages, Hindi and Bangla happen to be the most well-known languages internationally and has about 49 varieties and is spread over a visit tract in North India. The Western Hindi is a Midland Indo-Aryan language spoken in the Gigantic Plain and in the region immediately to its north and south around it on three sides are Punjabi, Gujarati, Rajasthan. The Eastern Hindi is spoken in Oudh and its mouth in the water layer beget languages such as Kashmir, the Dravidian languages. The actual word Dravidian was first used by Robert A. Calwell, who introduced the Sanskrit and word Dravida. Among Dravida languages were Bunt, among the Dravidian languages. Excluded. Even the other Dravidian languages, namely Malayalam, Kannada, and Telugu, possess independent scriptures and literary. Even the major Dravidian languages, namely Malayalam, Kannada, and possess the power Turakota and the Tulu, etc. So with this, we end the commemoration today, and we'll learn more about coming days. And today we are also commemorating Emirati Women's Day in UAE. It is commemorated every year on August 28th, which was founded by 2015 by Her Highness Sheikha Fatima bin Mubarak, also known as the Mother of the Nation. The General Women's Union of the United Arab Emirates was founded on this day, and is unique observance to recognize Emiratis women's efforts to honor their devotion, fortitude, dreams, and accomplishments in shaping the United Arab Emirates, and it honors all UAE women's accomplishments over the last 50 years. as well as their ambitions for the future. Her Highness announced the first Emirati Women's Day on August 15, 2015. Sheikha Fatima bint Mubarak is a member of the Mubarak family. The General Women's Union of the United Arab Emirates was founded on this day in 1975. Her Royal Highness Sheikha Fatima is the UAE's founding father's wife. She is the President of the Supreme Council for Motherhood and Childhood, as well as the Chairwoman of the Central Women's Union and the Supreme Chairwoman of the Family Development Foundation. She is known as the Mother of Sheikhs and the Mother of United Arab Emirates. She publicly stated at the end of 1990s that women should be allowed to serve on the Federal National Council of the Emirates. Sheikh Fatima is also a supporter of adult literacy initiatives and the provision of free public education for girls. She has always been a strong supporter of female athletes. Sheikh Fatima unveiled a national action plan on women, peace, and security on March 30th, 2021, the first of its kind in Gulf Operation Council, in short known as GCC, by supporting United Nations Security Council Resolution 1325. The strategy aims to empower and encourage women around the world. UN Women and international humanitarian organizations honored Sheikha Fatima in 2017 for her efforts in UAE to promote female equality and empowerment. The Emirates Women's Day, initiated by Her Highness, is commemorated to recognize the Emirati women's contributions and honor their dedication, fortitude, and accomplishments in shaping the country. The 7 Emirates of UAE are Abu Dubai, Sharjah, Ajman, Al Quwain, and Fujairah. Ras Al Khaimah are the cities in the United Arab Emirates. Sunni Muslims make up to 85% of the Emirati population, and Shia Muslims make up the vast bulk of remaining 15%. The Emirates are the United Arab Emirates, native Arab people and citizens of UAE. Female entrepreneurs in UAE, there were more than 20,000 female entrepreneurs, accounting for at least 10% of all Emirati business owners. In the United Arab Emirates, women hold 66% of government occupations, with 30% of those in top decision-making positions, and various positions occupied by women in government. Emirati women's illiteracy has decreased from 89.8% in 1970 to only 7.3% in 2017. In the UAE, 95% of the female high school graduates pursue higher study at the university level compared to 80% of the male high school graduates. So female high school graduates are more. It's a good sign. Women make up about 20% of the diplomatic corps in the UAE. It is a day dedicated to UAE women. It recognizes, celebrates, and marks their accomplishments more visible. It also empowers and motivates women all across the world. Commemorative Women's Day contributes to the elimination of gender bias and discrimination by raising awareness of the urgent need to address these issues around meaningful narratives, resources, and activities. Commemorative Women's Day celebrates women's skills and completes job and achieve great things. Gender bias, whether intentional or unconscious, makes it difficult for women to advance. Emeritus Women's Day is a worldwide event that honors women's social, economical, cultural, and political achievements and serves as a call to action for achieving gender parity sooner rather than later. Today is also commemorated as summer bank holiday in England and Wales in UK. It gives everyone a chance to enjoy the last summer of the holidays before a continuous grind until Christmas starts. Initially created as a way to allow bank workers to watch a key cricket match, the summer bank holiday, which is now a public holiday in England and Wales, is now referred to as a bank holiday, with a few exceptions. Most businesses and bank branches are closed on this designated day. Festivals and carnivals became a source of entertainment for many people. The Notting Hill Carnival and the Edinburgh Fringe Festival are some of the most anticipated highlight events during the summer bank holiday. Today is also commemorated as Rainbow Bridge Remembrance Day in US. The death of a beloved pet, whether it's the family dog, a furry kitty, or something a little more obscure, is a sad occasion. Rainbow Bridge Remembrance Day is a day that we remember the pets that are no longer with us, while the pain of losing a pet somewhat heals over time. They are never forgotten. And today is their day to remember. This day was founded by author Deborah Barnes as a way for people to share their memories of the pets that they have lost, whether it's maybe a dog, a cat, a hamster, or a snake, or anything, whichever is a pet. Deborah Barnes had to say goodbye to her cat, Mr. Jazz, on August 28, 2013, and had published an emotional book that detailed her journey of letting Mr. Jazz go, and it was called Prints of the Heart, a cat's tale of life, death, and beyond. After the book was released, Deborah received an overwhelming reaction from those who had read it, and people reached out to Deborah to share their own stories of a pet passing. And Deborah realized that her journey was being mirrored by others and that a pet dying was a deeply emotional time for many. So in the honor of Mr. Jazz and for all readers who were touched by her book, Deborah decided to create Rainbow Bridge Remembrance Day as a chance for people across the world to share their stories and memories of pets that they loved and lost. It was in 2015 that the holiday was first observed, and now each year on August 28, people are talking and taking time to remember their pets. And also it is a chance for us to honor our pets that have passed and celebrated lives they live. So take time out to remember any pets that you had that have passed, look through the old photos and share some memories with your family. You can visit a dedicated website to create a unique memorial dedicated to your pet. Pick an animal charity that you can admire and donate in the honor of your pet. Make a Christmas ornament that features a photo of your pet. You'll get to see them every time the holidays come around. Replace life with life, plant a tree to signify the long and lasting memory of your pet. Commission a unique work of the art that you can have a display somewhere in your home. We feed our pets every day. They provide us with comfort when we are down. To lose a pet is lose a friend, and we should never forget the roles they played in our life. Today is also commemorated as Race Your Mouse Around the Icons Day, which was developed by wellcat.com with the goal to give individuals a chance to experiment with the mouse and cursor. In essence, it allows the user to express frustration while working or enjoying the computer. If you are a pro at racing your mouse around the symbols, you get to celebrate this wacky day every day. But for those who aren't, it's once a year opportunity. When your computer is slow and seems to take hours to load, and you are waiting for something to happen, most individuals can't resist the urge to mess around with their mouse. Maybe you need a little break from what you are doing. In that case, this is a day to go wild, regardless of whether you are waiting or just downright bored. Race your mouse around the track, although the origin of the holiday is unknown. This day urges you to use your cursor and go wild. Many of us have moved our mouse over the screen while we are waiting for our data to download or for the task to finish. And today we get to see how quickly we can move the mouse over the screen and around all the icons. Today is also commemorated as National Heroes Day, commemorating the cry of Bugad Lavin, a revolt that kicked off the 1896 Philippine Revolution against the Spanish Empire and the long struggle towards the country's independence. After centuries of rule by Spain, the United States, and Japan, the Philippines finally achieved full independence at the end of World War II. The victory ended a protracted conflict that pitted the small island nation against major world powers. Filipinos celebrate Heroes Day with parades, events at local shrines, and firework displays, honoring the known and unknown heroes of the revolution. Today is also commemorated as National Cherry Turnover Day in US, which is a perfect time to celebrate the desert as it's almost end of summer and people are still going outdoors for picnics or camping. So cherry turnovers make a great food item to carry along. A cherry turnover is a puffy pastry that is stuffed with cherry filling and baked until it turns golden brown. There are many variations to the dish, but the classic remains favorite. Cherry turnovers are typically made with puff pastry dough, and it is prepared in such a way that the dough is light and flaky. Extra fat is added to the dough to achieve this. The cherry filling is then graciously spread on the rolled out puff pastry. During this step, many people choose to even improvise and add their own toppings. Once this step is achieved, you can fold the seams together to make a pouch and then go ahead and bake them. Cherries have been a preferred food item for centuries. As compared to a lighter cherries, darker cherries have higher levels of antioxidants. A commercially grown cherry tree will produce 7,000 cherries on average each year. In the US, over 75% of the cherries sold actually come from the state of Michigan. There are broadly two types of cherries, which are sweet cherry and wild cherry, and the sour cherry. Frozen cherries tend to concentrate and improve their taste. Cherries, which are one of the main ingredients of this dessert, are extremely healthy. They come packed with fiber, vitamins, minerals, and nutrients. They are also low in calories and have great levels of antioxidants. Finally, today is also commemorated as Crackers Over the Keyboard Day. This snack is so humble, yet so versatile. It does not matter whether you eat them plain or with dips, they are equally delicious. You can eat them without worrying right over the keyboard while working. Don't worry if you are a clean freak, you can simply dust off your keyboard and get rid of crumbs after you have finished taking part in the cookie celebration. But it's better to avoid, instead of cleaning the mess. Crackers are a staple snack in almost every household and can be easily found in an office pantry. They are cheap, nutritious, delicious, and enough to satiate those hunger pangs. When we do that, we don't even realize that we are unintentionally dropping crumbs into our keyboards as snack. But Crackers Over the Keyboard Day allows you to do that while giving you a guilt-free pass. So you don't have to limit yourself to eating just crackers over the keyboard. On this holiday, you can even grab a cookie and get it on the fun this day has to offer. You can even take it a step further by experimenting with tasty cracker snacks by mixing and matching seasonings and dips on them. The goal is to be free thinker, and today is the day to shine. So don't wait any longer and be ready to celebrate the day and encourage your friends and family to celebrate. A cracker is baked with flour and is typically flat and dry. Sometimes people add flavors or seasonings such as salt, herbs, cheese, etc. to enhance the flavor profile. The holes in the crackers are there for the more than just appearance and are called docking holes. These holes prevent bubbles from forming. A docker pricks holes into dough to allow air to escape to ensure crackers bake properly. This process is what yields flat and crispy crackers. Crackers can be eaten with almost anything, be it cream, cheese, peanut butter, hummus, sour cream, or any other dip. We all are guilty of eating crackers over the keyboard or any other food that makes crumbs. On crackers over the keyboard day, clean out the messy keyboard. Just turn it around upside down and shake it till stuff stops falling out. You'll be surprised to see how much dirt your keyboard has collected over time. The holes in the crackers actually serve a purpose to ensure that they are of right size and consistency. Crackers come in many shapes and sizes that the usual square, such as oval, circle, are irregular. Pita, laves, mezzo, flatbreads, among others, are predecessors of the current day cracker. The main ingredients of crackers are generally a grain, such as wheat or rice, which are blended into flour and water. Salt line cracker challenge is a food challenge in which one person gets 1 minute to eat 6 salt line soda crackers without drinking anything. Crackers are a nutritious snack and can be consumed without guilt. They are a healthier option than bread, and 2 multigrain crackers are around 64 kilocalories as compared to approximately 250 kilocalories in 2 slices of multigrain bread. You won't have to burn a hole in your pocket every time you buy crackers. They are cheap and there are multiple options and brands available to choose them for your liking. Crackers are a great fun. So with this, we shall conclude today's commemorations and sessions. We request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form. I know it was a very short notice that we just thought of celebrating tomorrow, the Telugu language day. So many people might not have received. So we request everyone to circulate among your circles so that they can also present and participate and make best use of the platform. Thank you everyone for joining us. So see you all tomorrow. Take care. Good night. Before leaving, ensure that you are filling up and submitting the feedback form, which has been raised in the form of polls. See you all tomorrow. Take care. Good night.